Welcome, everybody, to Race 2 of the Darkside Mustangs A² Cup Series season. We come to you from Auto Club Speedway, 2 Mile Super Oval, here just northeast of the LA metropolitan area. I'm Carmen Hardy, alongside me Kevin Young, to bring you tonight's action here. Kevin, Auto Club Speedway, last time we get to see it in this series in its 2.0 mile configuration. What are the drivers looking at here as we get qualifying underway?
Well, basically, it's going to be a track where you're going to see as the run goes on, the cars are going to slowly push up and closer to the wall. This is going to become basically a one-groove racetrack. But early on the run, you're going to see a lot of cars take aggressive lunges going deep. We're going to see maybe 2, 3-wide, 4-line battles. So keep an eye late in the race. As we get a late race caution with a late restart, we're going to see drivers coming down, getting fresh rubber, and trying to make that car as wide as possible. We'll see 3, 4-wide battles for the win.
Qualifying underway. 2022 defending series champion for the A² Cup Series season, Jeremy Breo, last week's race winner in the Daytona 250, qualifying now, starting his first lap. Drivers get 2 laps, and this is where things get a little bit different here for the A² Cup Series season. For those that are watching along, no matter where you are in the world here tonight. At Daytona, we had qualifying duels. There was a separate night for qualifying. That's not the case now. Now we get into more of a normal procession. For those that didn't watch last year, we have heat races every race of the season. Daytona just unique because it was a different night. Qualifying is the same way. Qualifying determines the front row of the field, which right now is Emma Kruger and Daniel Michel, as Jeremy Breo goes 13th fastest lap 1. So the front row is determined by qualifying. The rest of the field is determined by 2 duels. Jeremy Breo, 13th fastest, 15 cars to qualifying laps. So whoever's 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, all the way down, go into the first heat race. Second heat race gets all the even number cars, 4th on down. And we determine the starting grid that way. There's also points in those heats. So there's a little bit more to play for. There's no cautions in those heats, as we saw in the duels. But just a little bit extra going on here as we get the season kicked off proper and into the regular swing of things here at Fontana. Second lap in the books for Jeremy Breo, only 9th fastest as he gets jumped by Austin Purnell. Jonathan Homebrink in pit lane. Bradley Wright will start a lap here. Number 8.
He's one of the last few drivers here going to put down times on the track. He's the only one really on a run here. Alphys George is going to finish second run here. Few drivers are exiting the pit lane to start their final run, including Toby Estes, David Wright, Tom Sears. We'll see what Bradley Wright could do on his first run here. He's either jump Emma Kruger or Daniel Michel to try to get into the top 2 to ensure a front row starting spot. Lap 1 is going to get him across the line.
Only
Good
19th.
enough only for 19th.
Yeah, 27 cars in this race. All 27 cars will make it into the field. There's no one's going home tonight. It's going to be interesting to see where everyone stacks up here. Obviously, a long race, 100 laps, 200 miles here at Fontana. As Bradley Wright on that second lap trying to improve, just like everyone else did on their second laps. Emma Kruger looking for her first career pole in A² competition. Emma, 51 starts in ABN competition, 14 poles on our side of the thing. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday evenings. Looking to show everyone here at ARCS what she's about. She sits atop the leaderboard.
Yes, she does. Kind of saw it when we were kind of coming to broadcast. She got it as soon as we were kind of caught on the cameras, which we know she's not really she's good on ovals, but again, bit of a newbie when it comes to stock car racing in general, especially long ovals. So it's good to see her kind of get a good run here, but obviously still a couple more cars to put times down, so we'll see if it can hold. But regardless, still good, going to be at least in the top half of the field no matter what happens here.
Tommy Withers in the 23 machine. First lap in the books for Prophecy Motorsports now, as he crosses the line to start his first lap. Tom Sears finishing his first lap, it'll mean all 27 cars will have qualified.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting, but also makes kind of sense because you want, especially with the short laps of a heat run, which is only going to be 6 laps, you're going to want to try to get as close as you can to the front because farther back, it's going to be hard to work your way up to the front. Unlike plate races where it's kind of easy with the lap times to get up the front. If you're starting last row in your heat, it's going to be kind of hard to get up to the front. When they're doing Joshua Game and kind of slips up, we're still following Tommy Withers. It's just, that's how quick you got to get up to the wall to make something happen. Withers across the line. What will it be for him?
Not a valid lap time. He tagged the water too.
Mm-hmm. Tom Sears up to 8th.
Second lap's got to count for Tommy Withers. Sitting in the number 23 for Prophecy Motorsports. Very team-oriented competition here in the A Squared Cup Series.
Tommy Withers' last chance to get to the front of the field. Can he do it in that number 23? Across the line, looking to try to get top 2.
Only 26.
26. That first lap, that first little wall tap killed the speed, which hurt the second run. So he's going to be starting at the back of the field for his heat run. And that will be it for qualifying. Every driver, like you said, has taken a qualifying run, and they've done their 2 mandatory laps. So this is how they're going to roll off for their respective heat. Well, not for respective heat races, but odd numbers. Odd numbers, first heat, even numbers, second heat. And that's how they'll roll off with Emma Kruger and Daniel Michel, 1-2, going to start the front row for the main race.
Yeah, they're starting the main race, and they won't take part in the duels. That's the big difference. They don't take part in the heats here. They will be locked in where they are.
Makes sense. Because if you have that fast of a rocket ship, you don't really need the race. And at the same time, a little extra added track time may not help the rest of the field.
As some of this continues to run laps here, just kind of getting some practice in as qualifying comes to a close. 20 seconds left in qualifying. Yeah, Emma Kruger, front of the field. Daniel Michel will be on the alongside her in the front row. From there on down, now the fun begins in determining where you're going to start the California 200. Seth Wansing will start pole for Heat 1, and he'll be alongside Tommy Reynolds there. Bren Roberts will be pole for Heat Race number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And these are very quick heats. 7 laps here at Fontana for the heat races. Heat race number 1. This is what it looks like. Seth Wansing will be on the front row alongside Tommy Reynolds. Bradley Wright in row 2 alongside Matthew Leiter. Josh Gaiman, row 3 alongside Alex Shimkowski. Then Jeremy Breo and Ryan Pinnell. Josh Garrison, Jonathan Homebrink in row 10 and row 5. That's the top 10 in this heat. Then Brandon Fetterplace, Brian Rupert, and Elris George will be 13th, just off this 12-person list here. So 13 in this heat.
Mm-hmm.
And then heat 2 only have 12. Yeah, this is what we're looking at here. Race 2 of 36. This is heat race 1. 75 degrees the air temp, 85 degrees the track temp. So a little bit scorcher, a little bit windy, 15-mile-an-hour winds, and a lot better weather coverage than what we've seen in actual California this weekend.
Well, they always say it never rains in SoCal, but I guess real life had a little bit of a change of plans. But in the virtual world, it's gonna be a nice day here for racing. Really, it just raises the question as we'll watch them roll off here. This first heat race will kind of give us a indicator of how the second heat race may go, and also in turn how the restart for the main race will go. And I do wonder, how aggressive will some drivers be, maybe second row, third row down, like a Matthew Leiter, for instance, on the inside of row 2, or Joshua Gaiman inside of row 3. How aggressive will they make a lunge to try to get in the 1 and 2 to set themselves up 3 and 4? Because if you time it right and you get a good run, you can throw it 3 wide going into a corner and then take the run out and make a net gain here. So it makes me kind of wonder, how aggressive will some of these drivers be taking advantage of these restarts to really try to get spots on the opening progression of laps here, as we'll watch at the onboard camera here. Nice little inside camera shot of Seth Wansing.
Yeah, Seth Wansing, our in-race reporter for tonight's race. 2-time series champion, looking to get a 3rd championship, looking to get another win in the series. He's got a little bit of work to do defending that lead spot in heat race number 1. 13 cars in this heat. There'll be 7 laps to do it. Wansing, Reynolds, Wright, Leiter, Gaiman top 5 in heat race number 1. It's going to be chaotic, as we saw in the duels 2 weeks ago. Pace car is in, and these 13 cars, we're going to fight for where they're going to start. The main event tonight, heat 1 underway. Already a car down there on the apron. I think that is Josh Garrison. It is Garrison.
Mm-hmm. Not a good start for
Comscope 18.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, up front, Tommy Reynolds, the main winner here. He's going to try to clear Seth Wansing. Wansing's a little bit of smoke from the brake, trying to get that car rotated for the corner, and that's going to kill his exit here off the last corner. He's going to try to throw a block on Joshua Gaiman, try to kill the speed, but there's not much you can do with that freight train coming around you on the inside. And it looks like Gaiman's going to be able to get the spot on Wansing because he's just a bit of a checkup there from the car of Matthew Leiter. Nowhere to really go. As you can see, Briley Wright on the inside going to make it 2 abreast here, as Wright's going to try to get the run, but the high side favors, as it looks like with the slipstream, you're going to see Seth Wansing just clear. Briley Wright take back 3rd.
Battling here side by side as we zoom out. Matthew Leiter battling for that top 5 spot. Jeremy Breo.
Briley Wright in the wall. Briley Wright in the wall hard. You can just see him right there. Cars evading him. Big lick there. Head-on incident, and that's going to kill any chance of him starting up front, as he's basically crab walking slightly there. But we'll cut back to the...
No cautions in these heats, so whatever happens, you're kind of just left to suffer. And that's going to kind of spell his heat race over. He's going to start from the very back of this field. Wansing in 3rd behind Gaiman and Reynolds. The Gaiman finished on the podium here last year. Same with Jeremy Breo. Those two now teammates in 2023. Breo with a little bit of work to do trying to get around Leiter.
Took a look back to see what happened here. Ooh, another incident with Jeremy Breo there, as you just see it on screen. Have to hold that thought as he gets a little bit in the back of it.
Watch out, Matt Leiter.
Yep, Matt Leiter came up and hit Pennell. And that's going to be Ryan Pennell also basically going to be done here with any chance of improvement. 3 cars taken out with an incident. And to kind of just hit back to what I was saying, that outside's a bit slippery. We've seen it in running hose races this week, is that trying to transition back up high, the car can get a little kicky. And as you can see right there, it's caught out Briley Wright. And in that incident as well, it took the 74 Breo and the other car in question, that incident as well, got loose as well. But we got a battle here for the lead as Gaiman and Reynolds are fighting. This Gaiman actually got around. Now Tommy Reynolds going to be under pressure.
Jeremy Breo only lost 1 spot in that transaction. That was to Brandon Fetterplace, who he's trying to wrestle with Josh Garrison as well in tow. Obviously, Ryan Pennell in pit lane. His duel's done. He'll start from the back. Same with Matthew Leiter and Briley Wright, who is back in pit lane.
Yep, 3 cars taken out here, and that's going to be a net gain for the cars that qualify poor. But you can see there, right, the 7 trying to side draft aggressively with the 9 to try to keep the spot. But the 9's going to get the inside corner here, going to try to clear himself, going to be well clear, and he'll get the move. But the 7 going to get the run out the corner, but the 9 going to throw the block. And they're allowing the 61 to kind of just drive away here a little bit. As now Reynolds and Wansing cross the line side by side as we're starting the final lap of this race. As it looks like Gaiman secured second, but Wansing and Reynolds going to fight hard for second position.
Yeah, again, this is the first of 2 heats in this race. And the competition is heating up. There's Wansing tags the wall.
He's going to allow Reynolds to run. Wansing throws in aggressive blocks. Reynolds is going to keep that in the back of his mind for the main race. Don't want to wreck the car here. Seconds, thirds better than starting in 10th. As you can see, Reynolds gets a good side direct here. They're going to be side to side. Gaiman's going to win the heat. They almost touched there, and it looks like it's going to be a drag race to the line, and it's going to go to Wansing barely over Reynolds.
Breo recovered to 4th ahead of Brandon Fetter place. Alex Jimkowski in 6th. Brian Rupert in 7th. ARCS George recovers for 8th place, then ahead of Jonathan Hohenbrink and Josh Garrison, top 10 in that heat.
So now, if you like that, we're going to move on to Heat 2 here. We'll take a quick run over of the order here. Bren Roberts is going to lead him off here with Austin Brunel outside of Monroe 1. And it's going to be Tom Sears and Toby Estes rounding out row 2. David Wright and Dustin Painter in row 3. Donald Ray and Kevin Thiemster in row 4. Jack Mulkey and Stefan Oberstadt in row 5. And James Kerr and Tommy Withers rounding out row 6 for your 12-car field here in Heat 2 that will decide the outside row for the main race.
27 cars. Everyone makes it in okay. As we get ready to go.
The one advantage of starting in Heat 2 here is you do get kind of a knowledge of what's going to happen possibly for Heat 1, kind of let that be a precedent to know what you may or may not need to do here. We saw a couple cars really struggle in the transition from 3 to 4 as the car got a little kicky coming out of that corner. And other than that, you know, some of these drivers fighting hard like this race. It does pay for points, but it does also fight for positions as well. And these drivers will fight hard for every truth and position they can, as we saw with the end battle between Seth Wansing and Tommy Reynolds. So I have to keep these notes going into this race as Roberts is going to be leading away here. And one other thing to note as well is that if you start in mid-pack to farther back, you can make it work, as Joshua Gaiman was inside of row 3 at the start of the heat, and he ended up winning. So maybe keep an eye on Dustin Painter here. The drivers will cut on board here with the black ink machine here of James Kerr.
Yeah, James Kerr won this race. His only career win in the series came here 1 year ago, and it plunged his ticket into the playoffs on debut. He wasn't intending on racing the full season when he got that race win, but it inspired him to kind of come in and take on that bigger role in the series. And I actually rode on board with him for the start of this heat. He starts down in 11th place in that last row, so a lot of work to do for that Black Acid Racing machine. From his perspective, here we go. Already a car on the wall. That's Painter.
Yep. Painter kind of got shoved up there by Donald Ray. Got a little bit of stuff there.
Former teammates. Oberstadt on the outside lane. See him up there.
Further up, if you can see it, you can see a move for the lead here is Bren Roberts is making a move. Sorry, Austin Purnell's making a move on Bren Roberts for first. Bren Roberts locks the brake up there. Going to barely avoid the wall. A little bit of a lock by Donald Ray. Nowhere to go for James Kerr. That's going to be a couple cars long way around. 3 vehicles involved. Donald Ray, Kevin Thiemster, Jack Mulkey, and Tommy Withers all involved in that incident.
Donald Ray keeps it pointed straight. Mulkey not so much. That Shell Penzo, number 27, finding the grass early. Same with Kevin Thiemster, who is still trying to get that thing rolling. And it's just going to come to a stop there. So Tommy Withers already towed back to pit lane. Austin Purnell, series rookie. Tom Sears up in second. They're battling for the lead of this heat. They want to start in the second row as quickly as possible. Sears started in row 3 last week.
And you can just see what happened with Bren Roberts. Similar happened with Donald Ray. Locked up the rear, locked up the right front just a little bit, trying to get the car wound down for the corner to rotate the car, and the car snipped. Happened with Donald Ray, happened to Bren Roberts. You can see Bren Roberts going the wrong way quickly as he was first on the opening lap. Now he's down to 4th. Inside there, you can see Toby Estes trying to get ahead of Tom Sears. Not going to get the run in question. Going to slot in third, and that's going to allow Brent Roberts basically to beat the back bumper off of Toby Estes. And it's going to be 4 cars here in this pack, and David Wright just on the tail end, and it's kind of breaking into a 2-pack race here with 5 cars fighting for this top overall heat win.
Three laps to go in heat race number 2.
Brent Roberts gets the fast lap of the race there, which makes sense. He's been in the slipstream of Sears and Estes that whole run, so it's going to give him a little extra toe to get up to a little bit of those top speeds. A little snipped by Brent Roberts, sees an opportunity, going to go for it here.
He just did
not pull back wisely.
He did enough to side draft off the 29, grabbed the quarter panel, and pulled Estes away from the back of Tom Sears.
Tom Sears also going low as well. Maybe thought do something with Austin Purnell. Not going to get close enough to do it. He's going to be able to cock up if he wants to, but he's not going to have it as Toby Estes is going to get some help here, and he's going to get the run. So now Tom Sears is going to be hugging the bottom here with 2 to go, and he's going to get Freight Train down the outside. Sears still going to try to make that low line work, which is usually not where you want to be, especially late in a run. As if you saw in the real race, get Freight Train quite easily here. Really wants to come up to get some help, and he's going to have no toe, no nothing. He's going to end up losing 1 spot to Toby Estes and another possibly to Brent Roberts. A little bit of a saving grace here as Toby Estes is going to go for the race lead, going to help Tom Sears here and give him a little bit of toe as we're going to come to 1 to go. As it's going to be Purnell and Estes. Purnell is going to be hanging high here. Estes is going to come up as well, and we're starting the white flag lap.
1 lap to go here in heat race number 2. Estes in second. Tom Sears wants that second place back. 2 of the more respected drivers in this series trying to chase after Austin Purnell. Estes is close, but there's not enough gap there. There he goes. Tom Sears clears in front of Brent Roberts. Estes is going to send it. Only thing he really can do here. And he gets loose, clips that apron just a little bit. Tom Sears shoots it to the outside, shoots the gap. Coming out of turn 4, Sears loses it. He's going to hit the wall hard. Austin Purnell wins heat 2.
Tom Sears going to come home in 6th, going to lose 2 spots there, trying to be a little greedy. And luckily, damage is not going to carry over, and he's not going to have to go to the back with a tow of a backup car. But Purnell going to win. Estes 2nd, Roberts 3rd, Wright 4th, Painter 5th. That'll be your top 5. As we're going to see the last of the finishing here with Jack Mulkey, Donald Ray going to cross it as well.
Alrighty. That was wild.
Yeah.
That was absolutely wild. So we'll kind of go over it here, and we'll talk about the actual starting order here in just a second. So here's how the results for heat race number 1 went. It was Josh Gaiman that won that heat. He'll start this race from 3rd position again. Emma Kruger and Daniel Michel, the 70 and the 25, they are in the front row. They didn't have to take part in the heats, whereas Josh Gaiman and everyone else did. Josh Gaiman will start 3rd. Seth Weinstein will start 5th. Reynolds will start 7th. 9th for Jeremy Breo. Then Brandon Feder placed 11th. Jim Kalski in 13th. Further on down, all the way down to 27th, which is Bradley right there for Bandit Racing. That's how Heat 1 went. And then we switch over to Heat Race number 2. It was Austin Purnell. We just saw that one end. Purnell, Estes, Roberts, Wright, Painter top 5 in that one. They'll make up the outside of rows 2 through 6 in this race. Tom Sears, we saw him. He had a little bit of an issue trying to push for it, go for broke here in that heat race, and ended up breaking before anything else. He'll start in the 14th position for tonight's event. Steven Oberstadt behind him, then James Kerr, Jack Mulkey, Donald Ray, Kevin Feemster, and Tommy Withers.
Correct. As we're going to get 5 minutes warm up here. Last minute drive, check to have drivers check their setups, make everything's good, maybe get some last minute track time, or use this opportunity to get a drink, a snack, use the bathroom, whatever they need to do, as they're going to use this last 3 minutes before we get ready for the main race.
Views from up above here at Autoco Speedway. And now from our broadcast booth.
Nice little view up here. And like it's been said throughout most of Fontana's race weekend here in the real life and here as well, this is going to be the last time in this configuration that they will be coming here at the 2 mile variation of Auto Club. And a lot of these drivers want to send it off with a sweet send-off of trying to win here and really either help themselves out with the main championship or at least get a good point stay finish here. So it's going to be some good competitive racing in about 2 minutes' time. One other thing that just came down the pipeline as well is there will be a delay green, and we are going to see a 5-wide salute here, similar to what happened in today's race in real life around here. So keep an eye on that when the race starts. Well, before the race starts.
Alrighty, here's an official look at the starting grid here at Fontana. Emma Kruger, Daniel Michel, it's Line Power and Sunday Money Racing, front row of the field. Josh Gaiman, Austin Purnell in row number 2. Seth Wansing, Toby Estes will be in row number 3. Tommy Reynolds and Bryn Roberts, row 4. Then Jeremy Brayo, David Wright, row 5. Brandon Fetterplace and Dustin Painter in row number 6. Paging on through down to look at the next 12. It's Alex Jemkowski and Tom Sears in row 7. Brian Rupert and Stephen Overstat, row 8. Row 9, Irish George and James Kerr. And row 10, it's Jonathan Homebrink on the inside of Jack Mulkey. Josh Garrison, Donald Ray, row number 11. Row 12, Matthew Leiter and Kevin Feemster after having troubles in the heat races earlier. Last couple positions, it's Ryan Pinnell, Briley Wright, and Tommy Withers in the last 3 positions. Ryan Pinnell and Briley Wright on the inside. Tommy Withers outside in 26th. As we begin rolling here, again, a look at the way everything's going to kick off. 75 degrees, the air temp. 81 degrees the track temp, and it will get cooler as the race gets on. The wind has gone up. It was 15 degrees during qualifying. It's now 21 degrees, and it is shifting in direction, which will make this difficult. We'll have rows of 4 for this salute, I believe, or the rows of 4 or rows of 5. Looks like they're separated. They're ready for rows of 5. So we will have a moment of silence here at Fontana. last celebration of this track at its current configuration for this series. It'll still continue on its current guise in Champ Car competition and other series, but this series will follow the real world schedule as it moves to the short oval configuration set up to come in over the next couple of years. As we get ready to get back to racing here, the start of 100 laps, and a bit of a three-wide salute, but now we're getting it all figured out and squared away for the start of this race. We appreciate you spending your time with us here on a Sunday evening here in California. It's been a wacky weekend in California. The delay of El Trafico between LA Galaxy and LAFC, one of the weirdest NBA games over in Sacramento, and obviously the snow that we saw coming down as far south as Bakersfield. It's been a wild weekend. We're going to cap it off with a amazing race here tonight in Fontana. 3 stages, 25 and 50, the end of stage 1 and 2 respectively. So let's go. Everyone getting ready to go here in Fontana. 27 cars. Only full-time car not present is Cody Riggs, the number 3 machine. He will sit out this race. Emma Kroger, Daniel Michel at the front of the field as we have another lap till green. Obviously, we've seen a little bit now on how this race is going to behave. Everyone's going to want to get to the top early. But pit stops, how crucial are they going to be, and when do you make them?
It's up to the tires are really important around here. You can say about any track, but tires are really important around here, especially late in a run when the car is going to get a little bit more squirrely. We saw during the opening lap, like that 6-hour heat, we see drivers really kind of having problems transitioning 3 to 4, and that's only going to get worse as the tires wear. So knowing this, how the tires are going to see probably definitely at the stints, definitely going to try to stretch it out to each break, try to get to the window to pit for fresh tires. But especially if there's a late caution, especially in the final stint, we're going to see drivers definitely coming down to take it. No one's going to stay out and try to limp it around on no tires.
As we get ready to go, the lights that are center of your screen, that indicates when we go green here. We'll go through the restart zone. Emma Kruger, Josh Gaiman, very familiar with each other through the ABN Champ Car World Series. There'll be a line astern on the inside lane. Seth Wansing in third on that inside lane. Fifth starting place. And then, obviously, last week's race winner, Jimmy Breo, is starting in ninth place here this evening. It's almost showtime here in Fontana, California. Pace car will pull off. Kruger, Michelle, Gaiman, Purnell, Wansing, front of the field. The ARCS California 200 is underway. Trouble on the front straightaway.
Yep, that was Brent Roberts, I believe, as that's going to cause a couple cars to stock up there. Looks like we're going to stay green, though, as he was able to save it.
Battle at the front, Kruger and Michelle. Kruger in the 70, Michelle in 25. Kruger's going to sail it through turns 3 and 4. A lot more planned there, but there's Austin Purnell. We saw how good he was in heat race number 2. Kruger had to check out of it a little bit, I think.
A little bit back. Toby has to hit the wall there, following in the tracks of Seth Wansing, I believe it was, headed. So you got to keep an eye on the exit of the corner here. You can see Austin Purnell going to try to make a move here. Kruger not going to be able to send it in the middle. Can Purnell get clear of the 25 machine? Can.
Well, almost did, it should say. Did not get entirely clear. Gave Michelle enough space to try to make something happen. Kruger moves to the middle. Inside lane, the way it works, inside lane, you're going to wear your tires a lot more, so you're going to want to move to the top no matter what. The question is, how quickly can he get there? Lap 4 underway here at Fontana. Kruger beginning to fall backwards some. He's only been to this track once, and it was in Champ Car Machinery. And that was a pack race where you could go anywhere you wanted to on the track and make it work. This, very well not the case.
She didn't really get much laps at Champ Car because she was in the lap 1 incident that took her pretty much out of contention early. So she didn't get much time to practice around there. So further back, you see Breo making a move on the inside there. Kruger kind of going the wrong way here quickly, going from first all the way down to 7th. Just trying to get her feet wet here to try to figure it out. She's luckily on the high side here, so she's going to get the toe out. The car's ahead. But they're going to slowly start filing in, so you want to get the spots as quick as you can. So ride on board here with the Open Medicine Foundation car. As you can see, a very aggressive high line running, almost a Larson line, if you will. Battling there with, I think that's Daniel Michelle. But just hugging that high line there. Just trying to get around Gaiman for second.
There's Jeremy Breo there in the 74, watching Impulse side by side with Kruger and a 360 cam on the number 70.
Ooh. Yep.
Breo making that inside line work right now. Trying to make up additional spots. Finished 3rd last night in Sonoma, just a couple hours north of here. As Breo is going to sail on through and actually may pick up more than one spot. There's Bradley Wright about to lose a spot here. Or, sorry, Toby Estes.
It's just kind of running in line. When do you want to pull out? When do you think you can pull out here to make something happen? Run it out. You do hear a car kind of scraping the wall there, but I think it's a little bit further back. But you can see top three slowly starting to break away from this little second pack here that's forming. So they're going to have to try to kind of stop scrapping at least a little bit here to try to get caught back up here. And you can see Kruger. Will Kruger take a run here on Breo? No, she'll not. She'll stay in line here. Not really. Do have a battle for the lead, though, with Pinnell and Joshua Gaiman. You can see Pinnell under pressure. Gaiman was able to get around Daniel Michelle, and now is going to have the preferred line here going down the backstretch. Austin Pinnell tried to hug the middle there, got a little bit caught napping, and that's going to be Joshua Gaiman to the point, and he will take the lead here. So right now, looking good for B-Tron Racing. They had a winner last week, and now one of their cars is front of the pack here with Joshua Gaiman.
Yeah, B-Tron Racing started off the season strong. 4 cars in the top 5. And right now, one of their cars at the lead of this race in front of Austin Purnell for Black Acid Racing. With Sunday Money Racing's Daniel Michelle sitting in 3rd, and Bandit Racing's Toby Estes in 4th. Seth Wansing and Race Reporter will talk to him at the end of Stage 1 on lap 25.
Right now, he's under pressure from Jeremy Breo, last week's winner. It's basically 2 abreast there. We'll see him just kind of in the inboard here. You can just see in the back, that's how close Kruger is. It's not a lot of space here. This track's wide, but a lot of cars like to hug over the same real estate. As you can see, he's going to be kind of hung out here at least a little bit here as Tobias is going to come up, and then you can see Breo not in the right line per se, as they think that is Tom Sears making a move on the car he owns for 7th position. Big inside run there from Tom Sears. Going to try to take the run here. Try to take a 2-for-1 here if he can. Not going to get enough on the 9 to get a run. Well clear of Kruger, but you can see that hole in the middle is held by Breo. So nowhere really for Tom Sears to go up if he wants. But luckily, I think Kruger's going to cut her boss some space. And is going to allow him to come in if he so chose.
Sears instead decided to try to make it 3 wide there. Breo losing some time there to Wansing. Wansing sitting there in the 5th spot in the Coca-Cola machine. Reminiscent of what he'll be running in Champ Car in select races in 2023. For Sunday Money Racing. So you get to see Seth Wansing. We'll see him mostly at the end of the season after TNT ends for ARCS.
Fair enough. Yeah, great addition. You know he's quick, fast, and will be a good condition to see him out there in the Champ Car machinery. A little bit back. Tommy Reynolds going the right way forward here. He's fighting with Sears and Wright there.
Ooh, Daniel Michelle just had the wall.
Ooh.
Just had the wall just a little bit. Gave Estes everything that he wanted. But Estes not wanting to move to the bottom here. Opening laps out of the way. Everyone knows that the more time you spend down, the worse you're going to be feeling at the end of the stage.
Yeah.
Wansing not scared of making that decision, though. One driver's indecision. That was David Wright. Got shot to the inside.
Happened earlier in the race, too, where he got shot down as well. We'll be able to get back up in that Hooters machine. But just shows, try to clear yourself, getting kind of shot back a little bit. Luckily, keeps it straight, pointing in the right direction, but there it kicks again. Oh, he cannot save it. He can, but he's going to take the evasion run through the grass. Similar to Brent Roberts, cutting through the grass here. Can be a little bumpy. He's going to get it at least straight, so even though he's going to end up losing a lot of spots, down to 16th position right now on the circuit, 2 seconds back of that pack, I think he'll take that for the alternative, which would have been wrong way around with tons of damage.
Go back and look at it from his perspective, because he had a handful of it. You see, using the gyro cam.
Thought he had it straight, and then he thought it, and then it just kicked again, and luckily straight through the grass, but will merge successfully. But now, going to definitely be praying for that stage caution.
He's not alone either, because of how spread out it was earlier. He's found himself down in 16th position.
He's one of the drivers, including as well the 27 of Jack Mulkey and the 1 of Bren Roberts as well, as they're all hoping to get to that stage caution relatively soon. As we see here, Seth Wansing got around Austin Pinnell, so Wansing up to 2nd, Pinnell now down to 3rd, and it looks like he's going to be under pressure. Yep, as Daniel Michelle is going to take a long lunge in on that number 9 machine.
Those that were eating their tires up earlier are starting to feel those effects now. Wansing bit his time a little bit, was in contention for this race last year. Obviously, Michelle just checked up Wanzing, so he's going to lose a little bit of time to Purnell. Two series rookies in second and third spot. Seth Wanzing, one of two champions in this series. Now dealing with the driver that took the championship last year right on his quarter panel.
Oh, there's a lot of drivers fighting for real estate, trying to find what they can here. Again, get what you can before the stage break coming up. Again, this is what Gaiman wants to see, though. Gaiman's opened up about a half a second lead here as they're all fighting. Ooh, a smack there on the wall. I think Kruger lightly tapped it along with the car in third, who was either, I think it was Purnell or Wanzing. I think it was Wanzing.
It was Purnell.
It was Purnell. Thank you. A lot of red cars there up front.
Yes, there are a lot of red cars up front. Wanzing tagged it as well, but it started with Purnell at 32, who's in it again. Forcing Wanzing to go through the middle lane. And he's going to side draft like no other on that 32, trying to hold him back going into turn 3. Keep an eye on that 70 of Kruger. Wanzing sails it down deep to the bottom.
See if he can come up and try to clear something or get someone for his troubles.
Almost made it 2. There's Michelle tagging the wall, and they will be 3 wide. There's still 10 laps to go in stage 1.
Yep. They're fighting over the biscuit like it's the last lap, but we still got 10 to go here. 4 abreast. And this is just allowing Joshua Gaiman to check on out. He's just almost a second clear of this, and he is probably smiling like the cat that ate the canary because he does not have to be in this squibble. Oh, Tommy Reynolds, I think, got in the door of Kruger, or at least the corner panel. They're all going to keep it pointing in the right direction, but they are really just trying to make this as much time as can. I think Tommy Reynolds saved this stuff up quite well. He's been on the move. As now he's going to have the inside on Purnell and Kruger. Going to be 3 wide. You can see right there. I think it's Breo going to possibly make it 4.
Kruger's in the wall, and Breo gets in the Reynolds.
Yep, Reynolds.
And Reynolds slides to the grass. Kruger held on to it.
I do wonder if Kruger's got any damage.
Reynolds definitely has. Kruger definitely has damage. Reynolds falls back down here significantly. No caution still. They're going to let it right out to the stage. Very interesting call there. Obviously, Reynolds will be voicing his displeasure, but...
At the end of the day, all cars kind of kept it straight for the most part there. Kruger, once she tapped the wall, pointed it back straight. Reynolds is the only one losing it in the infield, but they didn't throw one for Roberts, and they didn't throw one as well for Wright. So...
it's consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent calling. And yeah, no one else was involved. But we'll cut back to the race leader here of Gaiman. About 7/10 clear of Wanzing.
Yeah, in that melee, Wanzing got back to second place pretty easily here, but Michelle's breathing right down on him. His team boss there right in second place. Michelle in third for Sunday Monday Racing. Both of them trying to secure what they can stage points wise. They had Austin Purnell for Black Acid Racing. Jeremy Breo, last week's race winner and defending champion, sitting in that 5th spot, doing pretty good in the early goings here. 7 laps to go in stage number 1.
Thought that crosses my mind is that some of these drivers kind of hitting that wall kind of flush on the outside, even though it's not really doing any damage, it can be at least some optional time that they're going to have to deal with when they pit. And even though it's not going to affect performance that much, it is going to hold you down the box if you so choose to take it. So we'll have to wait and see a few drivers when pit stops occur at the stage break or the caution, whichever one comes first. We'll see if some of those drivers get held long because of their slight damage. We'll see a slow car there.
That's Brian Rupert coming out of pit lane.
Brian Rupert.
Yeah, Brian Rupert coming out of pit lane. One of several Ohio natives in this field. He'll be a lap down just about everybody. Tommy Reynolds is the first car lap down. See Bryn Roberts on his own, the number 1 machine. Some work to do for the number 1 car.
That's right now.
See, there's Reynolds, first car lap down. The number 7, that's Silver Arrow Mark machine.
Fighting Briley Wright for the lucky dog position here. Briley Wright's also in that pack, just a little bit further back. So it's going to give Briley Wright a reason to fight because you want to be able to get the lucky dog position, then taking the wave around here.
Briley Wright is in 19th. He is on the lead lap.
He is? Oh, yeah, sorry. Like my timing and scoring made a slight glitch there. Yeah, no. Then, yeah, just Tommy Reynolds alone.
Yeah, Rupert is firmly a lap down, but he, the way it sits, he could get the wave around here with how late he just made his pit stop there.
Yeah, because just jumped Gaiman down. I think he had a quite little spike lag, because now he'll be back up to the front. Now, ooh, big clear there.
Oh, and Reynolds gets turned again. Maybe not the good move for Reynolds. And a hard hit in the inside wall.
Lick. That could be called a caution. Not seen anything thrown down yet.
Keep an eye on Michelle. Again, it's off track.
Mm-hmm.
But Tommy Reynolds, once again, snake bitten twice, and this time, he does not get lucky. A lot of damage on that number 7 machine.
And you're going to see a couple complaints probably coming at the end of that race, because he was one down and Bill no threat of getting unlucky dogged. So you're going to ask why was he racing so aggressive? As Reynolds is going to come down here, obviously going to go down 2, possibly even 3, depending on how long, well, if he burns a fast pair or not. So we'll have to wait and see on that point. But up front, Wanzing got around Gaiman. As you game, and you're going to see on the inside here, going to take the middle to low line here, going to be able to clear, going to try to come up as quick as he can here. Only downside is it's going to allow Wanzing a good run. The quicker he comes up, but you can see the car get squirrely for the 61. As we're going to come to lap 23 here, little blink by Wanzing, sides abreast both are. Is Wanzing, will he send it or will he stick behind? It looks like he'll stick behind here, knowing that he wants to set up for lap 25.
Josh Gaiman. In that 61, that blue and yellow car. Seth Wanzing trying to battle with him close, and you see the gap that was left with Michelle dropping back. Wanzing sends it to the bottom.
Just want to say, one driver that's made a lot of position ups quickly, Brandon Featherplace, up to 3rd spot, leading that 2nd train here, and Gaiman really struggling there. Car had to get the brakes on a little bit there. Car got a little squirrely. Going to stay in 2nd position. Wanzing well clear. So we're starting lap 24.
The car in pit lane, I believe that is Reynolds. It is Emma Kruger that actually made a pit stop here.
Ooh, she may be in competitively because pit lane entry has been closed. But it was actually later, so never mind. My mistake. That she's coming out of the pit lanes.
Cutting it close as far as the pit lane closing. Pit lane closes under green with 2 laps left in the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So Kruger got in right before, got in the end of lap 23. So valid pit stop there, and will be the first car a lap down as a result. Starting the final lap of stage 1, Wanzing trying to break the draft. Old little champ car strategy here. I've seen this song and dance before. Going into turn 1, all he has to do is defend from Josh Gaiman to win the stage. Featherplace up to 3rd, up 8 spots. 11 spots gained by Withers. Most gained so far in this race as they come out of turn 2.
Only question I really have is how aggressive will Gaiman be here? It's better probably to keep 2nd position than throw it away, because he's got a well-clear distance to Featherplace in 3rd, so not going to really risk points here. Obviously going to go for it if he can. Going to try to super high line here. Wanzing going to hug the middle.
Wanzing's going to get stage 1 here.
Yep, no run for the 61, and it's going to be Seth Wanzing going to come out. You can see Gaiman go as low as he can, but it's not going to be enough. Seth Wanzing wins the stage. Gaiman 2nd, Featherplace 3rd, Pinnell 4th, Toby Estes 5th, Sears 6th, Dustin Painter 7th, Alex Simkowski 8th, James Kerr 9th, and Daniel Michelle, who's running the 3rd, will sneak into the top 10 and get last place points in the stage.
Seth Wanzing, your race report. We'll hear from him in a second. But he is our stage 1 winner. All 27 cars, 26 cars, actually all 27 cars still running. Kevin Feimster is back on track. He was our first retirement in this race, but that is not the case now.
Actually, I think Pinnell is behind the wall.
Ryan Pinnell is not. Ryan Pinnell is 20th. 21st.
I gotta refresh my timing and scoring here because it's slightly glitched. But regardless, we're gonna see Gaiman come down out of fuel he's called. So
he'll start at the back of the field for this restart.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of drivers cut it close. That's why we saw drivers pit in when they did. Kruger knew that she couldn't make it, so she came in before pit lane closed. Smart move for Kruger, who will get lucky dog here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk to Wanzing after his pit stop. So far, a good run. as pit stops begin. Everyone's going to come down pit lane for service, and we're assuming it's going to be 4 tires of fuel for just about everybody.
I would be shocked if anyone didn't take 4 tires of fuel here, because tires get eaten up here like a fat kid eating chocolate. Unlike other tracks like Daytona or other places where you can get away with maybe 2 tires early on, this is not a track going to see that happen.
Emma Kruger getting that free pass as we assumed was going to happen. Pit stops underway.
Everyone's got 15-second stops here. No
wow,
one's taking.
Fetter Place got an amazing pit stop there. Fetter Place will take the lead off of pit lane. Then it's Purnell and Wanzing.
Actually, Feather Place had an 11.5-second stop. Relatively quick in comparison.
That may be a 2-tire stop.
Yeah.
Interesting call by Brandon Feather Place, but Brandon Feather Place wins the battle off pit lane. Let's say we dial up our good old friend Seth Wanzing. See what he's got to say about winning stage 1.
Sounds good.
Give us just a second to get him pulled up here. Seth, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha, Carmen.
Alrighty, stage 1 race win. Had the car come alive at the end of the stage, and you're starting up in 4th here for stage number 2. How you feeling?
Pretty good, Carmen. Pretty good. This number 9 Coca-Cola 213 somewhere Midwest Barbecue Chevrolet is really fast. Really good on the long run. Really hope we can replicate that throughout the race. That's about the time that you want your car to kick in. Really fun racing with Josh. Hate that he ran out of fuel, but try to get max points here and lead some more laps and get another stage win.
Obviously, the pit stops were a bit interesting. You ended up coming out there just a little bit behind Fetter Place and Michelle. Were you making any adjustments there?
No, I just overshot my box by the tiniest bit. So that's how much it matters. Can't be, got to be error free, Carmen, as you know, in this league. Lots of good guys getting in and off pit road. So try to get it back here, starting on the inside, see what we can't do in the number 9 Chevrolet.
Well, Seth will be watching. Congrats on the stage 1 win. Hopefully we'll be hearing from you again in the end of stage 2.
I hope so too. Everybody grab some barbecue and a Coca-Cola and then your favorite adult beverage to mix with it or drink on the side of it and enjoy the show.
Alrighty, Seth. Good luck.
Thank you.
Seth Wanzing, as we ride on board with him here. Stage 1 race winner. Optimistic that he can do the same thing in stage 2. He's got his teammate behind him and Daniel Michelle. Fetter Place outside in the front row, then Austin Purnell. Row 3 composed of Tom Sears and Alex Jimkowski. Line power in that row. Pace car pulls in. All 27 cars still running here at Fontana. Stage 2 is underway now.
Good lunge there on the outside by Feather Place, which is understandable. Leaders usually get a good jump here, but Wanzing does not get the good lunge he needs, as it looks like there's a chance we're going to see Austin Purnell hanging around the outside and possibly make something happen here. Wanzing going to slot in the middle. 32 going to get a good enough run here on the high line. Could make it awkward for the 9 to come up and clear himself. Not going to be enough, though. The 9 well clear. And now going to set the moves on Feather Place here in the 34. Going to hug it to the middle, or will he stay behind? Looks like he's going to be side by side. And he's going to take the inside here and try to slide on up and get around the 34.
Wanzing got very well clear. Now all he has to do is save those tires for a little bit. This is the sprint stage of the race. There's 25 laps in stage 1. We got to see all 25 of those laps. 25 laps in stage 2, it's more like 21 with the caution laps that eat into the start of that stage. And stage 2 ends on lap 50, so it's a bit more of a sprint. Seth Wanzing, though, in the best spot possible, and that is in the race lead. Clean air is your friend. Tom Sears trying to take it away, though.
Tom Sears wants that clean air for himself on the move. He has a very good short run car here. We're going to see him do something similar to Seth Wansing. Going to get as close to the aero draft as possible. Going to hug it low. And looks like he'll have the ability to clear the 9, but it's not going to be just enough. The 9, not going to be close enough. 14 could come up if he so chooses, but he'll not. He feels a little bit more comfortable running the middle. Wansing likes the wall just a bit more. And we're going to see Sears lead that lap. Wansing second, Pinnell third, Michelle fourth, and Feather Place going the wrong way. But I think he is good at saving his tires here, and I think he's playing the wrong game here.
Seth Wansing still leading this race, doing a phenomenal job at it. Sorry, excuse me, Tom Sears now leading this race. Seth Wansing in second as it came down. Seth Wansing running that lead back, but sitting pretty right now in the second spot as we approach lap 33.
They pay points for stages, but they don't pay points if you wreck the car, so there's a risk and a reward situation. Like you said, he needs to kind of save his rubber up here, but it's not going to be enough of a challenge. He wants it back. He wants the clean air, and he's going to go in the 1 here deep, and he's going to get clear of the 14, so put Wansing back up to the point, and we know Sears not going to take that line down as he's going to get the run and instantly take it, not even going to wait for the end of the corner, and he's going to clear the 9. You can see right there, Daniel Michelle as well going to get a good run here in third on the back of Wansing. So now the 9 could be under pressure from the 25, and Feather Place just sitting there in fourth, kind of watching and just observing the top 3 get a bit scrappy and burn their tires. He's got a half a second gap there across the line that time by Wansing second and Michelle third. Michelle not going to take the lunge here. It's not close enough to do it, and is going to kind of stay super high there. There's Feather Place in fourth. Now wanting to make a go time here. Going to go low, try to get some clean air on that nose. You're going to have Wansing, Michelle. Michelle going to just stay clear of Wansing. So Wansing going to slot in the third here. There's 34 Feather Place and the 32 Pinnell just there. Tiptoeing behind. Here's Joshua Gaiman back up after, remember, started the tail end of the lead lap because of that coming in, having to pit for fuel, make an emergency stop, already back up the 6th position and picked them off one by one. There's Feather Place as well, going to clear Seth Wansing. So put Feather Place up third. Wansing had it going right on the openings of the laps, and now going the wrong way quick.
We've seen how much things ebb and flow here, though. Seth Wansing had it and lost it a little bit in the first stage, but had it when it mattered the most. There's a method to it as he gets side by side with Josh Gaiman and gets a little bit loose there. Gaiman did not appreciate it too often much there, but he's also 3 wide with Alex Szymkowski. Szymkowski, haven't had a chance to talk about him much. A special scheme on the number 99. This track means a lot, not only in the stock car community, but in the open wheel community. One of Szymkowski's heroes, one of the heroes for many open wheel drivers, was that of Greg Moore, who lost his life at this track back in 1999. This car number and color palette, all in tribute to that number 99 machine that Greg Moore drove those last races he raced in the in the kart World Series. When he passed away here again at the end of the season in 1999. But looking good in the number 99 as he moves through the field up to 7th place, up 6 spots from where he started in that Line Power Motorsports machine. A lot of his teammates up here. Tom Sears leads, Fetter Place 6th, Szymkowski in 7th, and Emma Kruger trying to move through the field, sitting in 19th at the moment, a little bit further down than what she would want to be, but still a lot to go in this stage.
Yep, long ways to go here, so not really anything to sweat here. Cars, absolutely, as race restarts happen, cars going to be more and more aggressive and fight in accord. As you can see here for the lead, you can see Daniel Michelle going to go around the high side of Sears and will get the job done. So put the 25 up to the point. Tom Sears in second. They got about half a second lead to Austin Pinnell in the pack. As we saw, just as we saw kind of while we were talking about the special scheme of Szymkowski, you saw if just the tail end, Seth Wansing went super low in the tri-oval, basically on the painted point at the start-finish line, right where the red and the blue meets. So the drivers finding as much real estate as they can. If they want to go down there, they're going to try it to get as much time as they can. That's just the driver's edge, to try to find as much time as you physically possibly can. As Austin Pinnell going to go around Tom Sears. So I think Tom Sears may have burned up his stuff just a little bit. And now he's fallen to the clutches of second. And now you can see Joshua Gaiman going to get a run on the number 14. But will not take it here, but definitely setting something up for 3 and 4. Unlike most tracks you see on the calendar, it's kind of hard to break away with how powerful the draft and the slipstream is, especially this 2-mile track. Unless you're really picture perfect or you make a mistake, it's very hard to tow away from someone and really get that lunge. Most drivers will kind of stay within the ebb and flow of each other, bearing green flag pit stops. But you can see here, Seth Wansing, Joshua Gaiman. Gaiman wouldn't make the move on Sears quick enough. Seth Wansing wanted to take advantage. And now Wansing's going to make it 3 abreast in the corner. Who will come out on top here? It looks like Sears may be the big loser, but he's got the preferred line. Gaiman's going side by side with Wansing. Wansing going to clear here Sears. And then you see Feather Place as well. Wansing cleared up on Sears. Sears going to go in the middle, going to challenge for the position of third. Gaiman's up being the big loser there. Feather Place almost capitalized. Battle for the lead. We just see ahead. Austin Pinnell and Daniel Michel fighting. As you can see, big little bit of a kick out from the 23, but not going to be enough to interfere his lead. Across the line, it's going to be, I think, Pinnell by a nose. It will. Pinnell lead that lap, but in the not preferred spot here going into 1.
Yeah, Purnell wants to be a little bit further up here, and unfortunately, it can't get clear of Michelle. He'll get clear here, but it took a little bit longer than he wanted to be, and that's going to hurt him in the long run. 10 laps to go in stage number 2. Purnell, Michelle, Wansing, Sears, Feather Place top 5, and you see most of this group that's in this main pack. Purnell just had the wall there just a little bit. We'll give this back to Seth Wansing, who leads across the line, and make sure he gets up there at the top of the track. He knows where he needs to be.
Your point was correct. Ebb and flow of the race, drivers will go up and down. Now Seth Wansing back up to the point, even though it looked like he was kind of sinking a bit. Tom Sears now going the wrong way, so presumably before we get to the end of the stage, we'll see Sears back up here fighting. And look at that, this whole pack under a blanket, 3 wide back there with Sears under pressure from Wright and Painter. Just find a line, try to stick it, and try to make it work.
As the laps begin to wind down in stage 2, we are rapidly approaching the halfway point here in Fontana. Michelle, top of the track. Purnell, middle of the track. Feather Place running a little bit lower. Trying to make something happen. Trying to find some clean air further on back. As they all close in.
Oh, that's Tom Sears.
And he keeps it off the wall very critically. He'll fall out of the top 10 as far as stage points go. Don't tell me that was off the nose of his teammate.
It possibly was. Yeah, but it was 23.
Oh, it's the 23. That is Withers.
Tommy Withers.
Well, look at what happened here as we get ready to end the stage. Yeah,
Ooh.
And just off the nose of Withers, who also lost time out of the top 10 as well for Withers. In front of the field, Wansing still leads. 7 to go in stage 2.
Don Ray right now barely still on the lead lap here, hoping that pack doesn't catch him quick here as he just crossed the line. And you're going to see the lead pack as well cross it as well. That's a gap maybe about 7-8 seconds. The rate they're going, they shouldn't get to Donald Ray, but if Donald Ray were to get caught, he would be the first one down though. So bit of a risk. It's either going to be, right now it's looking, it's either going to be Roberts or, actually Ray is currently, I think, 1 down. So he's trying not to go 2. But there's Feather Place
so far.
Feather Place tried to be a little greedy for second, couldn't get the job done. Will slot in the 3rd. Pinnell and Wright 4th and 5th respectively. Names we said a lot about Purnell, but we haven't said much about Wright after that opening in that middle stint. He got that slight mistake, had to cut through the grass, has rebounded nicely to get the car back up to 5th position. So he's not allowed that slight mistake to really affect him, and wants to get some stage points where he missed out on the previous run. But 3 wide for the lead here. Looks like Wanzing is going to get possibly soccer old here. You can see the 34 feather placed. Oh, the 9 and 34 door each other. And that's going to allow Michelle on the outside to get a slight run here and be able to at least do that. But there's still going to be 3 wide.
Yeah, Wanzing, a little bit, side drafting goes wrong. And luckily, it did not go as bad as we've seen before. But now, coming to 4 laps to go in the stage, it's about to be a bit rougher of a time for Wanzing if he's going to try to get the lead and take stage 2 points. David Wright sitting there in 4th, trying to make himself known. A couple of Champ Car starts last year and a couple of A² starts. Wanzing goes to the bottom, sails it through turns 1 and 2. It makes it sick, and he's going to pin Michelle alongside Fetterplace. Michelle, his teammate, by the way, the 9 and 25 are teammates. I want to point that out. Wanzing, Albo's out driving. Michelle stuck with his team boss there. Fetterplace trying to set its sail, and now Michelle's just got to hang in there and just hold on as Fetterplace lets it go.
Yeah, Fetterplace got squirrely there on inside. That's going to cause the spy here to David Wright. He'll have to. The high-abs have come to have-nots. The 4th, he'll fall, and now it's Wright and Michelle. Wright looking to try to win the stage again. Capitalize where he was. You can see the 25 there, almost in the wall, really running that super high line. And you can see David Wright to the point. He'll take the lead. Again, another mistake there by Fetherplace. Again, scoring off corner.
It was Michelle that caused it because Michelle bounced off the wall, and he's going to find the inside wall hard.
Oh, big lick to the inside.
It's going to give Wanzing and Wright breathing space. Wright's going to push Wanzing through the corner. 2 laps to go in the stage. Wanzing tags the wall. David Wright looking for his first career stage win in this series.
He's going to have to fight hard here with 2 to go. If they keep fighting like that, it's going to allow Simkowski, Pinnell, and catch up here and take the spots. I thought Gaiman and Oberstdorf. Right now, no pressure from right behind. Looks like it could be something similar to here what happened with the last stage between the number 9 to Seth Wanzing, the 61 to Joshua Gaiman. It looks like Wright's probably clear here, unless you see Wanzing really find some extra time here as we're coming to the white flag lap of the stage.
Yeah, David Wright may have got it here. A little bit of bump and run there in stage 2. That's going to be interesting. See how Seth Wanzing can feel like that. Again, our in-car reporter, so we'll hear from him here at the end of stage, as we get ready for stage 3. But David Wright, out of nowhere, for Prophecy Motorsports, gonna bag the first stage win for the team. Through turns 3 and 4 now they go, for the last time in stage 2.
Yep, bearing mistake. This is David Wright's stage. He went from 0 to hero. First stage was not good. Second stage, going to end up coming out on top. Your stage 2 winner is going to be the number 42 of David Wright, as Seth Wanzing will bring it home in 2nd position with no pressure from Oberstdorf in 3rd. Game in 4th, Painter 5th. You can see a bit of a fight there at the end between Purnell and Withers. Purnell and Painter, my mistake. Purnell will get 5th, Painter 6th, Withers 7th, Simkowski 8th, Purnell 9th, and Fetherplace rounding out your top 10.
And David Wright, the stage 2 winner, first stage win for Prophecy Motorsports in this series, and first stage win for David Wright in this series. And that ends stage 2. Seth Wanzing, almost max points so far. Phenomenal stuff in the early going here. Obviously, they'll catch up to the pace car here, but stage 2 now out of the way. From here on out, it's stage 3, and this is where the big points are on offer.
Yep, this is where they give out the trophy. So obviously, everyone's gonna come in here, get fresh tires, get the works.
I think this is the important thing, too, as we look at this. David Wright and Steven Oberstadt, where did he come from in that stage? Came from absolutely nowhere in that 47 for Beatron Racing. Just interesting how that stage developed. David Wright, Steven Oberstadt, obviously Ryan Pinnell made up 16 spots to get up to 9th place there. Same with Tommy Withers. Tommy Withers up 19 spots from where he started this race. Probably Motorsports, they are moving. 3 of their cars sitting right there in the top 10. That's a car that stayed out. Who stayed out?
Bren Roberts stayed out, but he's a lap down.
Bren Roberts wasn't allowed to come in, so he almost got a penalty for coming in early.
Yeah.
And he's the lucky dog, I believe. Yeah, he is the lucky dog. So he would get that.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone comes down pit lane, Bren Roberts is the lucky dog. Let's see, Tommy Reynolds still a lap down here, still seething over that incident with Daniel Michel. I do believe it was Michel.
Yep, it was. Because he barely got back in the top 10 for stage points.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. David Wright will hold on to the race lead out of pit stops here. So he'll be able to control this restart here to start stage 3. Phenomenal effort by David Wright and the Prophecy Motorsports team. Dustin Painter still in the top 10. Tommy Withers in the top 10. That's the 23, the 42, the 65. All 3 of them teammates doing a phenomenal job here. And you look at Josh Garrison. Josh Garrison, the 4th Prophecy Motorsports driver, sitting there in 15th. He was in the top 10 earlier in this race, so a lot of pace from those Toyotas here. Obviously, David Wright in the Chevrolet. Stage 2, we'll hear how his thoughts went. We'll look at Seth Wansing here as we get ready for this stage. Actually, we're actually about to go green in this stage, so we may have to wait for another break.
These cautions go by quick, which is odd. In a two mile track, you think they'd be a little longer, but faster speeds.
Wansing chose the outside lane. David Wright chose the inside lane, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
See how that pans out. It'll be Wansing and Wright on the front row. Row 2 will be made up of Austin Purnell and Josh Gaiman. Tommy Withers and Steven Oberstadt, Withers and Painter row 3. Oberstadt and Jimkowski row 4. Breo and Mulkey row 5. So Beatron Racing sneaking their way back in the top 10.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty. It's been chaotic, but it's been accident-free through the first 53 laps. Stage 3 about to begin. David Wright will lead us off as the pace car pulls in and we get ready to approach the Geico restart zone. 46 laps to go at the line. David Wright leads us off. Green flag back in the air, and we're underway once again from Fontana.
Big shove there with Seth Wansing getting shoved there as David Wright got the great launch there. And you can see Wansing getting pushed by Joshua Gaiman. Gaiman going to try to clear the inside counterpart of Austin Purnell. Not going to really make that happen. You can see Wansing going to be under pressure, 3 abreast, possibly, but luckily will keep his nerve, hold the middle. Purnell going to go super low. So Gaiman tried to shove the 9 clear so he could possibly get the advantage over Purnell. Could not quite work the way he wanted. Now Wansing going to still be in second here, but going to be under pressure from Purnell, and Gaiman going to fall into the clutches of Withers and Painter.
It's been a frantic drive so far. Again, we're looking at this battle second place. David Wright pretty well clear by a few tenths as Austin Purnell moves back to second place. We've seen this song and dance before. Wansing in third, Game in fourth, top 4 single file, top 5 single file, because there is Dustin Painter in the number 65. And not said that 65's name much this race.
No, we haven't.
Here he is.
He's fighting the talent of the stage. His first stage 1, now stage 2. Now gloves are off. It's go time. He's going to get in the rumble and going to end up jungling, fight for spots here.
Breo, Oberstadt, Jimkowski, Mulkey all in the top 10.
We got the battle here for the possible lead here. You can see Purnell going to get a cut run here on the 42.
And wow, David Wright's going to follow him down. That could be disastrous because Wansing's staying up a little bit, trying to get a little bit more momentum here. David Wright did not give Purnell space. Purnell will still lead the lap, but he couldn't get clear.
Yeah, I think that was part of his gameplay. Try to pinch 32 and pinch him low enough that it kills the arc so he can't clear him. This time, you can see the 32 going to get the run preferably and going to be well clear of David Wright here. David Wright going to come up in front of the 9 to Seth Wansing, and he'll lead the train. So even though David Wright tried to be a bit of a form on the side of Austin Purnell's still going to take the spot, at least for now, and 32 going to go low as well. The 42 going to follow, which you usually don't see from the car in second position, nor the car in first position go that low. But different strategy for either driver, and they can see Seth Wansing going to capitalize on the weird, odd situation that arose before. Going to get the run here on the 42 David Wright. Game in there to capitalize if something happens, and he's going to be on the outside of Seth Wansing here as Wansing going to try to send it deep, try to make something happen.
And he's got it. David Wright, I think, is just kind of struggling. I think I'm not going to say nerves because he doesn't seem anxious. It's an unfamiliar situation for him to be in, and I feel like you're better off just staying in the top lane. Save those tires a little bit. You're going to have a green flag pit stop in this stage. Just save your stuff. Try to make as long as you can. And I feel like he's getting lost in that battle. He's getting lost in that battle sense, I guess. Trying to stay up at the front instead of just letting the car come and go, as what we've seen so far in this race. 41 laps to go.
Yeah, we're going to see probably drivers pit, if we knowing stints and how we saw Game and run out, probably lap 75, give or take, around that range for your final pit stop of the race. So I have to keep an eye in that regard and kind of watch the laps tick here. We're still a little ways away, but you're not going to want to... You want to save your stuff so you can keep those lap times strong when the pit stop window does open. But you can see there, we're watching Gaiman, and right there is Gaiman kind of just gave a little bit of a shove to right. But Wright going to hold the nerve at least in third position. So even though the slight mistakes occurred, looks like he's found his footing in third position. But he's got a hungry pack of Gaiman and Breo behind. So for the rookie, those are two cars you don't want sitting behind you.
We'll have to look on board as Jimkowski as he battles with Dustin Painter for that 6th spot. Again, firmly up in the top 10 for Jimkowski at a track that means a lot to the Chicago native as he sits middle 3 wide. Michelle up top, Withers on the inside. And Michelle makes out like a bandit up 2 spots.
Battle for the lead here, Purnell and Wansing. You can just see in the distance there, we'll see David Wright's perspective. You see Wansing took it, Purnell wants it back. Purnell going to go low, but not going to get the run off the corner he needs. Wansing preferred lines on the high side. Like we said in the pre-race broadcast, it becomes a one-line racetrack here, especially late in a run. So we're going to see that. You can see the 42 David Wright going to take that middle groove here to get some clean air on that nose.
Well, we thought it was going to become more one line than this, right? Like, we saw how this... Obviously, we see how races traditionally are. You see all the smog and the haziness around the track. Obviously, the sun hidden behind that haze. You're still able to kind of go wherever you want to. You just can't spend a lot of time on the bottom. It has to come and go in spurts, almost. As we're watching with David Wright. Like, he's following it, and he's running a little bit lower, getting some clean air. But he's making these ebb and flow decisions. 3 wide, Michelle! And Gaiman got turned.
Yep.
And this is going to be the first caution of the race.
As he collides someone there, could not see who that 100% was. I think it was a 74 Breo. Or at least Breo was involved in this incident.
Yeah, there's Breo, the defending champion. second place finisher in this race last season, and he's in trouble. He can't move.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's something broken in that number 74 truck. There's some number 74 machine.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Devastating.
That's a tow. So luckily, the only positive he has is that with that win last week, good for the playoffs, but not something he wants to do. Wants to have a strong second week.
It all kicked off there, and we'll take a look at what happened, because it's a lot. We were on board with it as it began. Not often we get those well timed.
Nope. While we wait for that replay to blow up, it's worth noting that we're not really in the window yet for pit stops. So if you do elect to come down here, you're not probably going to make it to the end. So we'll take a look at the replay, and you're going to see the problem with that 61 machine, that blue and yellow one, right in the middle.
Yeah, so Josh Gaiman is 3 wide. David Wright, I'm hoping knows this from his spotter, because he's very clearly 3 wide here at this point.
Uh-huh.
David Wright just drifts up, drifts up, drifts up, drifts up. Yeah, Michelle had nothing to do with that. Mm-hmm. And you see Gaiman gets hit. No, it was Bradley Wright that tagged him.
Right, so I guess Brea was involved in his own little incident then.
Oh, sorry, not Bradley. That's Estes. That's 29 Estes. I'm still getting used to Wright and Estes in different numbers.
Doesn't help.
Yeah, it'll still be Estes in the 29.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll look to see what happened to Breo here, because Breo obviously a lot of trouble here.
I had to get. So I thought he was behind. So, but then he was wrong way around. So it's gonna probably have something to do with David Wright. I'd have to guess. Yep. Oh, odd.
Oh, it's out of gear. Oh, you can hear how unhealthy that sounds there in the 74 machine.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a look at this again. We'll look at this from a little bit of the back screen. See if he gets tagged anywhere. Oh, he does get tagged. That was the 23 of Withers that tagged him in the... Well, it's going to be our right side, but it's his left rear.
Mm-hmm.
That's disconnected. We'll see if we can get a decent angle of it, because we don't get really good angles here. Let's see, we'll take a look here once more. Yeah, it's Withers that tagged him. Yeah, you see how that wheel is just not... It's not connected, and you see it's even bolted out there. It's bowed out. Yeah, it's not. It's just not connected. At that point, it's disconnected from the actual drive axle. And it's just sitting at this point. And that is race done.
Yep.
For Jeremy Breo. He is out of this race.
No fast repairs. Unlike Daytona last week, there are no fast repairs here.
There's one, but he had the tow, so he was going to lose 2 laps.
Got it. I thought there was one, but I was like, eh. Gotta read your notes over carefully, folks. But anyway, though, drivers that pitted on that last caution, most of the field elected to stay out here. Only a few did come in. But like I hinted before we got to the restart, if you did pit now, you're probably not making it to the end. Most likely not anyway, unless we get out of the caution, and you can probably save a little bit more. But at that point, you're going to be on a tire disadvantage. So only real stop there was to get some fresh rubber and try to capitalize and gain some track position. Maybe hope for another quick yellow to net gain. So it's going to be Wanzing and Michelle first row, Pinnell, Leiter second row, Wright, Painter third row, Sears, Withers fourth, Wright, and Simkowski your fifth row there. That's going to be your top 5 rows here as we're going to start on lap 67 when we come to green. Green flag in the air. It's going to be on Wanzing's control, and away we go. Looks like Wanzing gets a good jump. Usually leaders do. You can see Daniel Michel pull up quickly to the high side here. Not going to put a fight here going into the corner. Wants to be on the higher grip here, especially not with the fresh tires. And I see many cars elect to go super low on the opening restart. Further back, they see a big scrimmage there. There's some cars that pitted for fresh rubber. They're going to try to carve that through quite quickly as they can. And there we can see it. Side-by-side angle here of Austin Pinnell and Daniel Michel. Pinnell going to take the low side. Nowhere for the 25 to go here. Almost collapsed into the back of the 9. And Austin Pinnell is going to be able to come up. Not going to be cleared. Yes, he will be. He'll get the clear jump here if he so chooses. Not going to take it. Going to just kind of half and half it here. Now we'll come up, kind of try to cut off the 9 here. The 9 not going to be able to go low into this corner. Pinnell going to send it deep again. And you can see 3 lines forming here. You got Michel hugging that super high line, Wanzing just a little bit off it. And you can see Austin Pinnell going middle to low. And Austin Pinnell going to hold station, at least for now. Wanzing going to have to gear up. Further back there, big fight there with Leiter, Wright, and Painter. And even further back, there's Emma Kruger trying to carve way back up the field. Riding with the 14 at Toby Estes. So our pole sitter kind of, after the opening instance, is kind of buried in the middle of the pack. Again, new to sim racing, just trying, not new to sim racing, new to oval racing in stock cars. Just trying to get her feet wet here to get back up to the front. Only sitting P14 for her troubles in that 70. So you got big space in there in the middle there. Again, haves and have-nots pitting at that last caution. Working way up for the field. Gaiman up to 11th already on that fresh rubber. Big car there going super low. Get back up there, but got a little squirrely off exit. Leading the way still is Austin Pinnell, Seth Wanzing, Dan Michel, your top 3. But it's big fight in there for 9th, 10th, and 11th as Withers, Pinnell, Gaiman, Featherplace all fighting respectively in that lower half of the field. See Austin, Ryan Pinnell, name we really haven't mentioned much here. Number 12, kind of been farther back there. Its opening involved that kind of opening melee incident that didn't trigger a caution, and now it's kind of recovered nicely in that 12, and is trying to set his sights up the front as we're hitting lap 72. Green flags pit stop, sorry, 71 because it's not turned over yet. But it's worth noting that we are coming open to the window here. 75 was estimated window, but obviously with that caution, it's extended a little bit. So within 10 laps, we're going to see a majority of this field here take their green flag pit stops if a caution does not get called beforehand. And you can just see the scrappiness happening here. This game and just trying to find what he can in that middle section. Tommy Withers right there just ahead. Bradley Wright Matthew Leiter as well. Kind of on-board camera here perspective of Ryan Pinnell just to kind of show you what the driver is dealing with inside the cockpit. Just trying to feather the throttle, get into as much power as he can, then get it back up to the green as he goes. Inside, he's got just a car on this hang on his inside. He'll get clear. It can happen. As you can see up in that distance, you can see a bit of a fight forming for second position as Pinnell has been able to get away from Wanzing, and Wanzing got a bit of a train forming behind him. You see Pinnell just not really getting these good enough runs to really get around that 61. Just trying to find where he can in that machine. Big battle for second here. So you just see in the distance, David Wright ended up losing 2 spots there. There's Seth Wanzing. See, 3 abreast there with Sears, Wright, and Michelle, all fighting for the respective position of 3rd. Wright going to come out in advantage here with that slightly middle line here. Going to have the right to challenge Seth Wanzing. Then Michelle, though, going to hug the line, going to stick behind the 9. Thought about going a little lower, but knowing David Wright was right there, couldn't really make it happen. We'll have to stay with that super high line here. And this little fighting has allowed them to reel back in Austin Pinnell. And after that incident early with Sears getting hooked on the back of the 23 at Tommy Withers, we are now seeing him kind of reel back in. So, again, a lot of drivers with early incidences getting back into the fight of these things. Perfect. 2 packs are forming here. Top 6 in 1 pack, and then Gaiman leading the 2nd pack, which is about a second back, which is not going to be helpful when pit stops do occur in the next couple of laps, as that gap could possibly grow as green flag pit stops do occur.
25 laps to go in this race. And it's been a while when caution's out.
Ryan Pinnell, the 12. Looks like he was the cause of this.
And there's Reynolds also in the grass. Wonder if he was avoiding something here.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't think Pinnell was the incident. I think he was avoiding something.
We'll see what happens here.
No, he was involved, as we'll see here in a second. You can see coming off the corner here through the haze. It's a bit hard to see. The car in the middle right there is number 12, that orange and black one. Yep. Just came down on Tommy Reynolds in the 7. Both cars take evasive through the grass, but just enough for iRacing to trigger a caution. And that will be that for a caution. And noting that since we are in the window, this will be, most drivers will pit here and should be good to go to the end. Only concern would be with possible green white checkers.
You see the amount of haze that's on the track at the moment. It does affect visibility.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, sitting in these stock cars, 3,400 pounds, visibility is kind of important.
It's important, but it's sometimes overrated. Some of these drivers could probably drive it blind if you wanted them to.
Running on board with Seth Wanzing here. You see how foggy it is. It's not a fog, it's a haze. It's like almost like a smog. Again, we are within range of the LA metropolitan area. We're about 25 minutes away from central LA. See, they just look at all the smog as we see pit stops underway here.
Only thing I do wonder on these pit stops, you see the smog here. A few of those drivers did pin on the last caution, including Joshua Gaiman, for instance. Obviously, filling up the car to the brinks. My question is, maybe they take a gamble here. Maybe take 2 tires, knowing that they didn't put the most wear on them.
You have to take 4 because it's how many laps are left. That's a gamble you make on a green white checker, like less than 10 to go restart. You don't make that gamble with over 20 to go.
True. I didn't think it was going to happen anyway, but I've seen crazier things happen, so it's worth throwing it out.
It did happen. By the way,
yep.
Shimkowski is the big one. Average George. Donald Ray was fuel only.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Mulkey fuel only.
Mm-hmm. It's worth noting some Kelsey, Ray, Mulkey, drivers that pitted on that last caution. They hadn't had the greatest runs here, so they think possibly another caution will happen. Save a set, see what you can do with it.
All right, we're going to take the chance here. Talk to Rim Race Reporter about how this race has gone so far. Seth, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Got a copy.
Hey, Carmen, I got you.
Alrighty, stage 2, a bit more chaotic. Stage 3, it's been even more chaotic here. Both of our incident cautions have come in stage 3. How's the car feeling right now?
Pretty good. This is a tricky spot, but about where I wanted it to go green there. I'd rather not have a chaotic restart where something can happen, but we'll see how it goes and try to pick the right lane here just a second, and then I'll talk to you here, Carmen.
You're good.
Oh my goodness grief.
That's 32 of Austin for now, but I went into the grass.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're picking the lanes here. You're picking the lanes here based off of where the traffic's at. You want to be in clear traffic, have a chance to move up through the field. How's that 9-car feeling, being able to kind of pick and choose where you want to go, and even if you're not in a good situation, how confident do you feel in getting in that situation with the laps ticking down?
Very good. I feel like as long as I can take care of my stuff, I feel like I got probably the best long run car here. Stage 2, I would have had it. I just had to use my stuff a little bit. There's such a fine balance, Carmen, of trying to like not get ran over early in a run because you're trying to save your stuff, but you'll lose so much track position that you'll have to get it back, but just saving tires too. So we'll see how it goes here. Hopefully one Sunday Money guy between me, Daniel, and Honeybrink and Bryn gets the win here and go from there.
Well, Seth, good luck. We'll be watching. Have fun. They're battling from second row.
Thank you, Carmen. You and everybody enjoy. Hope it's a good call to the end.
That was Seth Wansing, our in-race reporter for tonight's race. Obviously optimistic with how this race is going to go. We'll see what it looks like here. It's Purnell and Michelle at the front of the field. The 25 on the outside lane of Michelle, the 32 of Purnell on the inside lane, leading us to green. Then Shimkowski and Wansing, Ray and Mulkey, top 6. Pace car is in. Green flag is going to be back out. And away we go. One more time, and the visibility is not getting better.
Oh, it's making it kind of hard to call in some degree because you're just struggling to see through the fog to see what's going on.
It is extremely hard to see. And we're having to use the zoom-in cameras here because of how much smog there is here. Again, if it's affecting us here and we're not in the car, we're not in those high-pressure situations, imagine what it's doing inside the cockpit here. It is just absolutely, just the visibility. You'd rather be in a night race at this point.
Yeah.
It's so rough as we watch Purnell and Michelle here. We'll see if we can zoom out here a little bit. Michelle trying to hold on to that race lead. Wansing made it back to the top. Oh, trouble, Feather Place.
Yep, that's Feather Place. That's going to be a couple cars. That's going to be a caution. Quick caution for a few of the drivers.
Accident here.
Yep, Toby Estes is involved. Big little slip there at the end. We got the
that is Feemster involved. Feather Place. No one holding the brakes here. That's Steven Oberstadt involved. Tommy Reynolds got his lap back, by the way, with those cautions that we had earlier. But a lot of trouble here early on. Oberstadt spinning out again. Maybe some residual damage on that number 47 machine. But a lot of cars involved in this one.
Yeah, we'll have to take a good look at the replay there. Don't understand fully what happened, but a lot of good cars there. Gonna end up with some good damage here. We just hit the under 20 to go here. And the thing is with these laps ticking down, the pressure turns up as these drivers are gonna get more aggressive, realizing time's ticking.
We'll take a look back at what happened, and we'll see if we can get a decent angle of it here. So Oberstadt is involved here. He's not. I don't think it starts with him. It starts further ahead. It does start with Fetter Place.
Yep.
And obviously, the track blocks up so quickly.
And half the field just tried to avoid it. Feather Place was just low enough. I think no one was going to hit him, but that stack up and cars being so close and the smoke and fog situation, the smog, it just...
And we were talking about that. It's so much harder to see further ahead with the visibility being reduced the way it is. We'll actually see if we can go on board with somebody a little bit further back. We'll see if we can go on board with Brian Rupert here. And we'll see if we can get an in-car cam, because it is horrible right now, visibility-wise.
Oh, yeah, no.
You look at just how, just from this perspective here, and this is one of our high-def cams, just how difficult it is when the smoke begins to build on top of the smog.
Yeah, that's a wreck that I think people could have avoided early on in the race, but this late, that's just hard to avoid. You can just see nowhere to go with also the smoke, and just almost makes it through, but ends up hitting the 23 of Estes. I'm sorry, 23 of Withers. As the hole closed.
And again, it starts early. This starts with Brandon Fetterplace, so we'll take a look on board with the number 34 for Linebound Motorsports. His team boss to the inside, and he just A little bit of help there from Matthew Leiter, the 83.
And he almost has it clear, almost going to make it good. You see car right there. I think Tommy Reynolds gets through, and then...
Honestly, the carnage you see kind of just coming to a stop. And then...
That's the thing he complained about right there.
Yeah. That would be the bad one, yeah.
That's right. I know he said someone didn't hold their brakes and came down. That was the incident in question. Almost made it through unscathed, but...
And by the way, race control, Matthew Kent, race control tonight, really quick. Because the caution comes out here.
Yeah.
Caution came out extremely quick here.
Wants to warn everyone, because that's a track blocker waiting to happen.
But just, there's so little visibility right now that it's just so difficult. We'll look on board Ryan Pinnell. We'll have a couple more onboards here. Ryan Pinnell got really lucky, but just struggled to keep it safe there.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple more. We'll look at Toby Estes here. This is later on. This is everyone trying to avoid. Oh, hard hit. That was Withers that tagged the wall hard.
Yeah.
Oh, and Reynolds did not get away completely free.
And then smacked for the 21. Just...
Austin Burnell, second place. Daniel Michelle, the race lead. As you're ready to come to our fifth restart of the race.
Worth noting, drivers 16 on down, all elected to come in on that stop, including Withers, Ray, Featherplace, Sears, Estes, Roberts, Overstep, so on and so forth. Some with damage, some by choice, but everyone else, basically 15th on above, have elected to stay out and gonna obviously made their final pit stops here. So we'll see how this all shakes out.
The smog and the visibility issues. We get back to go racing. 17 laps to go at the line. Green flag back in the air, and away we go.
Good jump there by the number 25. Pinnell not going to really get going here as much as he wants, but inside usually can able to get it geared up quick. We'll keep the second position away from Wanzing. They're two going to go low here. Going to get the relatively okay run. You can see Michelle likes running that super high line, almost kissing the wall, if you will. Will hold station.
Oh, trouble.
And there's a bit of an incident in the back.
Better place again.
Feather place again. Oh, smacks the wall. Luckily, I think that was lightly flush enough. Shouldn't damage on the second incident. Precautions, precautions. And with this low visibility, feather place again involved.
Yeah, and this is coming right out of turn 2. And he's in a three-way situation here. You see Tom Sears behind him. Again, 34, that blue and yellow machine, center of your screen, is a driver that we see spin here. And yeah, this three-way situation, that is the 18 of Josh Garrison. And honestly, hard for our cameras to keep up. Obviously, these cameras are they're auto-manned, they're AI manned. And they're trying to track these cars through the fog. It's so difficult. You see the jitteriness there. We'll go on board here. We'll just go on board. We'll go on board with the 18 of Josh Garrison here. He's in pit lane now. But you're going to see him kind of just in the middle of nowhere. Nothing he can do. He's already up there.
See, hole closes. Featherplace just was up there. Featherplace thought he was possibly clear. Tried to get up there to get the slipstream the car had, and just caught Garrison off.
Right on board with Tom Sears, get his perspective, because it all happens right in front of him. As everyone drifts up. And Bryn Roberts here. Everyone clear to get to the bottom of the track. He's already wearing some of the scars of war here on the number 1 machine. Featherplace still on pit lane.
Yeah.
For extensive repairs.
Burned his first repair on that last caution, and now that's just going to be fixing what they can, get it back out there.
Sixth caution of the race. We are at 15 laps to go here. It's Michelle, Purnell, Wanzing, Gaiman, and David Wright.
So we're going to see the choose cone coming up here this time by. I'm honestly wondering if Michelle will take the low or high here because he likes the high side, but we've seen most resetters take the low. Really don't feel like there's much of a difference because leaders usually get a good enough jump, but you probably want to be able to dump in on the inside. But it looks like if he gets the line, yep, Michelle going to take the high here. Purnell obviously going to take the low. Whatever 25 was going to do, the 32 was going to do. They're basically going to go 2 by 2 by 2, it seems like, with Wanzing taking high and Gaiman going, not Gaiman, sorry, going low. So on it's on.
Yeah, some of the drivers comparing this, hearing a little bit of the radio chatter, some of the drivers comparing this almost like wildfire smoke with just how much haze there is right now. And you can see, you can't even completely see from turn 2, you can't even completely see down the back straightaway towards turn 3 without seeing that cloudiness roll over the track. That is just how difficult visibility has become. It has gotten worse over the last 25, 30 laps. These drivers with as little laps left in this race are going to try to finish this off as quickly as possible. It is Daniel Michelle at the front of the field, Austin Purnell, Seth Wanzing, Josh Gaiman, Dustin Painter, David Wright, Alex Jimkowski, Elvis George, Emma Kruger, and Bradley Wright in the top 10. Pace car takes the left onto pit lane, coming to 13 laps to go. Do we see a first-time winner in the series? Let's find out. Green flag back in the air.
Yep. Michelle going to get a good jump there. Purnell going to slot in the second position. Obviously, usually has the point. We'll get the lunge going into the corner here as Wanzing did not get up and get close to Michelle there. See Joshua Gaiman going to take the middle. Not going to be able to really clear Wanzing, but going to be 2 abreast. So it's going to be side by side here, first, second, and then side by side again, next row down. And you can just see basically 8th on back, they're 3 abreast. Fighting like the last person over the cheesecake. See Wanzing gets up there. Wanzing clears Gaiman. Gaiman tried it, but not going to make it happen. There's Purnell.
Wanzing lost it.
Ooh, yeah.
Wanzing down to 5th now. Lost it. Did a really good job saving it, but had to chase it down the entire track and in the apron. And now under threat from Dustin Painter there in the number 65 for Prophecy Motorsports. Dustin Painter slots up to 5th place. Wanzing now has more work to do in these last 12 laps. And you see, through the smog, all the cars still running around here. Only one car out of this race, and that is Jeremy Breo.
Last week's race winner, defending champion. Wanzing comes up, clears. Going to try to get the run, though, on David Wright. Battle for the lead. Michelle and Purnell, they're chopping again.
Caution's out.
We have a caution.
Bren Roberts.
Bren Roberts, but Purnell does get the spot though before the caution came.
And here's why. 4 wide situation here. Reynolds in the feather place into Bren Roberts. Oh, that's a hard hit.
Yep. Inside concrete wall there. Ooh. Thank God these cars are virtual. You can see him just trying to go forward.
That was a violent impact with the pit attenuator. Obviously, you see the forward situation here. Kruger in the very far outside lane. Reynolds there in the silver arrow mark machine. Better place, blue and yellow, easier to see car, third in line there, and then the Wonderburn Roberts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, almost took flight. Use that pit divider there as basically a ramp almost. Even that car is definitely not going to have been worse for wear. At least it's still running, which is almost shocking. Now it raises a good question, as you can see some smoke coming as that he's just trying to get at the pit lane without towing, losing a lap or two. But it raises a question now, is coming near the end, do anyone elect to pit here, burn their last set here? Because if you're high up, I assume no, but if you're someone maybe like Alfred George, Stefan Oberstadt, someone a little bit further down, Simkowski, Withers, maybe worth taking a chance here, but it looks like only driver coming in is Alfred George. He will be alone, so no other driver will elect to take maybe advantage fresh tires if you're thinking this will be the last caution, or if we have one more, maybe worth waiting on for. Get back here. We should be, because the lap cars, we should be getting up to 8 or 7. Sorry, 7 to go. We get back to green here. And presumably knowing how the choose code kind of affected the last couple cautions, we're probably going to see Michelle take the high line again and Austin Pinnell slide on the inside. But it'll be interesting to see how the rest kind of pick out here. So we'll see the choose code rule in effect here. We'll probably see why I predicted. Yes, they will slot how. Gaiman will go high. Wanzing will go low. John Smeal in the chat rooting for Beachon Racing and Joshua Gaiman. Even though team leaders had a race, forget the rest of the team could still recover nicely here, getting another winner, make it back-to-back for Beachon.
Coming to 7 laps to go in this race. Do we see a green-white checkered in this race is the next big question.
Yeah, honestly, if you asked me on lap 25, I would have said no, but with how thick this smog is getting and how hard they're going to be fighting, I think it's possibility at this point. I think the odds went from maybe 15% shooting up to north of 40. But I've been proven wrong before.
We're going to find out. Daniel Michel leads the field. Austin Purnell second. Josh Gaiman third. Seth Wanzing fourth. Dustin Painter, Matthew Leiter, David Wright, Tommy Withers, and Ryan Pinnell, and Alex Shimkowski round out the top 10. Coming to our 7th restart of the race. The smog, there's a ton of it. Let's figure out a race winner. Green flag back in the air.
Shell gets a good jump there. Pinnell going to be taking the middle lane there. Gaiman not going to really take prisoners here. Going to try to hang it high. Going to get kind of covered off here by Dan Michel. Gaiman going to split the middle here. Going to make it 3 wide. Pinnell, Gaiman's going to be clear if he wants it on the highest side. Austin Pinnell,
trouble
behind. To the back. Toby Estes.
It's Mulkey. Mulkey got turned.
Mistake. Other yellow car. Mulkey went head on into that wall. And it looks like just barely the... Ooh. Question is, who had position there when the caution came out? That was a big lick in the inside wall there, as our outside wall for Jack Mulkey. Big lick. We'll take a look at the replay here. Starting back at the start-finish right here on the restart. Caught on board number 27. 27 of Jack Mulkey's John Deere on board here. You see right ahead of him is Al Simkowski. Simkowski comes up clear. Oh, ooh, Mulkey looks like he got a little bit squirrely on his own and then just got some help there in the end from that Interstate Batteries car right there. And that finished them off. So this car got a little kicky. Tried to save it and just couldn't get it saved. At least the positive, the car is still running at the very least. Now we'll come on board here with 26 of Jonathan Hohenbrick. As Jonathan, you can see here, just ahead, you're just going to see Mulkey. Car just kicks a little bit there, almost has it saved, and just gets ran in the back by 26, and that just gets the job done. 26 maybe checked up there if he could have. Probably would have saved 27, but there's a chance 26 would have got ran over too. So just how restarts go sometimes. Slight incident, checked up one, checked up the other, and caused just a stack up. So on 5 to go, the 18 got the lucky dog there. He will be back on the lead lap, giving us 21 cars on the lead lap. We'll get choose cone next time by.
We have 23 cars on the lead lap. Mulkey's on the lead lap at the moment, and Garrison getting lucky dog here puts us 23 cars out of 27 that started.
All right, thank you. Carmen coming in for the corrections when I make a slight mistake. So we'll have the choose cone here, and we'll go back to green with 3 to go. It is worth noting that if a caution were to come out within 3 at last restart, it will most likely trigger. It will trigger green white checkered, and we do have 3 attempts at a green white checker if so needed. So here's the choose cone effect. It's going to be Michelle and Gaiman first choosing here. Looks like Michelle going to go high. Gaiman goes high instead of low. Interesting. Usually the car second at line takes the low side. Gaiman feels more confident lining behind the 25 and timing his launch rather than being on the middle. So that's going to put Pinnell back on the front row. And Wanzi going to slide in right behind. Interesting. So we'll take a quick reset here. We got Michelle and Pinnell going to be front row. Gaiman and Wanzing and Gaiman in your second row. Pinnell and, Painter and Wright next row. Leiter and Pinnell in the fourth row. And Tommy Wither and Tom Sears rounding out your fifth row here. That's going to be your top 10. Then it's going to be Ray Simkowski in row 6. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'll be 100% honest, but I do know we're going to see a lunge going into 1.
Coming to 3 laps to go. This is not a green white checkered attempt. And the cautions have been thick and fast at the end of this race. For those tuning in, I'm Carmen Hardy. Alongside me, Kevin Young. Through the smog and the smoke. 6 miles scheduled left in this race. Green flag back in the air.
Well, we can see him get through 1 and 2 here. That's been the tricky spot here. Checkups have occurred. Michelle going to get clear Gaiman. Gaiman going to get a good lunge here. We saw him take the middle there and split it. This time, though, the 25 going to cover off where Gaiman probably wanted to go. Gaiman's going to have to settle back in here, and that's going to allow the 32 to charge back in on the inside. Wansing as well, our in-car race reporter here, looking to capitalize here. Pennell, big loser there. Inside, not going to happen with the tires worn down. 61 here, going to take the middle lane here. Catches the 25 napping. Can he get up and boot scoot boogie his way up to take the lead? He can. He will successfully do it, as we do see the 25 almost clip the wall. You can see the 61 covering off as we're coming to 2 to go. 4 cars fighting for this win as Wansing gets around Pennell for third. Gaiman takes the lead. Michelle in second.
Still 4 cars in it, and it's the outside lane that's been the most stable. Michelle goes for the race lead on the outside lane, side by side for the race lead. Michelle in the 25 looking for his first win. Gaiman looking for his 7th. And look at Wansing. Wansing sails it to the bottom.
Wansing trying to put himself in a spot where he can take a run here. It's not going to really be comfortable. You can't really make it happen
Ooh,
in
here
third.
we go. It's getting close. Michelle leads, coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here in Fontana.
Wansing under pressure here from Pennell. Pennell going to kind of block him off here from really making anything happen. Right now in the catbird seat, I would argue it's Gaiman, but the thing is Pennell can get side by side with Gaiman. He could block it off and really not allow Gaiman to get the run. Gaiman going to get off the corner here, preferred exit. He's going to be in second position, but he's a little bit too far back to make a lunge right now. Wansing going to be in third, and Pennell going to fall to fourth. It looks like it's going to be a battle between Michelle and Gaiman as they go in the 3. Michelle going to take the middle of the low lane. It's not going to be enough for Gaiman to make something happen. Gaiman going to get a squirrely off corner. Could lose second position. He keeps it straight, but Michelle is going to come home. Daniel Michelle wins the California 200. Seth Wansing brings it home in second. Austin Pennell in third, and Joshua Gaiman still keeping it slightly straight, lost it at the end, will bring it home in 4th position. So Daniel Michelle does it right and wins this race in that number 25. That was a very, very interesting finish there. Kind of makes you wonder if Gaiman took the inside, would that have capitalized well for him better, or if he stung where he was? It's a big what-if situation, but regardless, 25 going to burn it down here. He is going to score the first win of this season for Sunday Money Racing. As the Chiron says, this is his first career A-Square Cup Series victory. He is going to be celebrating hard tonight, and especially in the interview room. If you're still here, do not go anywhere. Top 3 interviews for Daniel Michelle, Seth Wansing, Austin Pennell. If we can get him in here, we'll certainly try, and then give all 3 an interview if we can. As you can see, 25 doing a Polish victory lap here. He is going to savor this moment.
While Michelle does the Polish victory lap, we'll talk to Seth Wansing, his team owner here, finished third tonight. Seth, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Get a copy.
Gotcha, Carmen.
Obviously, a bit of a bittersweet moment. You wanted that race win yourself, but your first career win as a team owner. Daniel Michel getting his first career win on his home track. First of all, just kind of walk us through that final stage and how you're feeling right now. Obviously, a bit of a mix of emotions here.
Definitely, I was just telling those guys, Carmen. Really would have loved to lock myself into the chase, but awesome points day. Nevertheless, won a stage, got second in the other, and got second in the heat. So that's 20-something points. So awesome points day. Yeah, congratulations to Daniel. He drove the wheels off of it. And with 3 minutes of optional repair too. I don't know if you could see it on the broadcast, but his right side was pretty beat up. So he drove the wheels off of it. Bryn and Jonathan just didn't have the luck for Sunday Money today, but their time's coming. That final stage, I wish it would have went green, Carmen and Kevin. I think I had the best long run car there. If we could have gotten a 15-20 lap run to the end, I think I was pretty well set up for a win. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And happy to get a second place. It was a lot of fun racing Daniel and Josh and Austin Purnell drove a heck of a race today too. I'm sure there was no lack of excitement in the broadcast. So, yeah, it just wish would have got a green flag run, but like you said, Carmen, bittersweet second place.
Obviously, you can kind of consider it a good time when you consider second to be a disappointing result. Las Vegas is next week, right? And this team, we've seen how much the draft and how much team-oriented it's been. And now we're going to Las Vegas, where it is going to be even more different of a race than what we've seen the first 2 weeks. How do you take what you've learned from how the car handles on an older track? Because we're going to Vegas, another track that's got an aged surface. How much are you able to kind of take as far as how your strategy works and how you're able to adapt that long-run car from tonight and take it into Vegas next week before we have to start dealing with some short ovals?
I'm hoping, I mean, you know me in the short ovals, that's kind of where I shined last year, but I feel like I have some more 1.5 and 2 mile speed this year, Carmen. So looking forward to Las Vegas. Raced really hard with Trey Kirk and Cody last year and came up second there. Man, I'm racking up a lot of seconds, but in this league, it's kind of frustrating, but it's not a bad problem to have. So, you know what? We'll go to Vegas, hopefully try to get the win there. I'd like to take care of the win earlier than I did last year, but nevertheless, hopefully bring 4 fast Sunday Money racing cars to the racetrack in the desert next weekend and try to set sail and kind of run away in the points and as well as the team points as well. And just, you know, if you're not winning, it's nice to have days like I had today to where you're racking up a good amount of points. That's always good, just to have a nice buffer.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, obviously we see your teammate, one of the drivers you put a lot of faith in drafting this year in the draft. Before we let you go, if there's anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. We'll talk to Daniel here in just a little bit once he's done celebrating, but the floor is yours.
Like I said, shout out to the guys that I raced with tonight, Daniel and Austin and Josh mainly, and Toby and Tom Sears. Everybody that was up in the top 5 all night raced really clean, really hard racing, so that's always appreciated. Thank you to everybody at ARCS and A Squared, all of us admins and all the owners at ARCS for giving us the day in and day out stuff to do and have a fun time. Thank you to you and Kevin, Carmen, for putting on a heck of a broadcast each week. Thank you to 213 Simware Midwest Barbecue for being on board this year. Be on the lookout for some merch coming out here soon. Go get yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie or a flag, and we'll roll on to Vegas next week and see what we can't do there.
Seth, go and enjoy it. Your first win as a team owner. Still a pretty important moment here. So go and enjoy it. Obviously, Las Vegas next week, another opportunity. But you're proving that this team has got Going to be winning early and winning often. That is a fantastic sign to see, Seth. Enjoy it. Enjoy celebrating with your team. It's always a special one. So have a good night. Take care of it. And hopefully we'll see you and talking to you again really soon in Las Vegas.
Thank you, Carmen.
That was Seth Wansing, team owner for Daniel Michel, and second place finisher here tonight. It's 1-2 for Sunday Monday Racing. It does not get a lot better than that. Just ask Beachron Racing. The only way they can make it better is by getting a 1, 2, 3, and 5. Next, we'll talk to Austin Purnell, third place finisher tonight. Was up front almost all race long. Had a phenomenal race. We'll talk to him here in just a second. Austin, this is Carmen from the ABM booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, that was an interesting one. Obviously, third place, given how much you were at near the front of the field or leading laps in this race, probably a bit of a bittersweet moment. But first podium in this series as a rookie, coming from the OAP series. Kind of just walk us through. You had a car that was good, long run, short run, you could handle it all, but just kind of walk through how that race how it slipped right there at the end.
Yeah, it was really fun. First off, congratulations to Daniel. He did a really good job holding us off. But yeah, there at the end, I think if I could have got a better restart on the inside a couple times, I might could have gave him a better run for it. But we kept getting that caution. I get right beside him, then a caution come out, unfortunately. But that's just racing. But yeah, I was giving it all I could on the inside. If I could go back, I probably would have tried the top one time maybe. But I think I'd already made my bid on that inside. And it just didn't pan out, but I'm happy with third. I thought I was going to struggle here when I first started practicing earlier today, so I'm definitely happy with third.
Yeah, phenomenal effort. Obviously, a lot of struggles further on down the field. Obviously, the stack ups and the restarts obviously playing a factor in how this race turned out. Las Vegas next week is another track where you're going to see the tires age a little bit, and the line that you're going to be using is going to kind of shift around a little bit. You thought you were going to be bad here, and you ended up battling for the race lead all race long. Had some of the most laps led, I think. I'll have to go back and see what the actual stat line reads like. But going into Las Vegas next week, is it a track you're more familiar with, or how do you kind of spin what you've learned from being here at Fontana going into the next week at another track where it's going to be a little bit similar as far as how the tires handle?
Yeah, it definitely gives me a lot of confidence running this good here. I feel like we can definitely run similar to how we did tonight there. Obviously, a little bit different. So it's maybe a tiny bit slower than this track, but I think, hopefully we can be up here again.
Absolutely. Obviously, a lot of fun seeing you race up front, seeing you race elbows out with Seth and Michelle and Josh Gaiman there. Before we let you go and kind of just let you relax and rewind after a crazy race here at Fontana, is anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to? The floor is yours. Congrats on a phenomenal podium, your first podium in the series. Hopefully the first of many.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Black Asset Racing Apparel for sponsoring the team. James Kerr, obviously, for picking me. I'm glad I didn't disappoint tonight being a round one pick as a rookie, so happy about that. I got to thank Smoky Days Barbecue in Roxborough, North Carolina. If y'all are any time in North Carolina, it's about an hour from Charlotte. Should definitely check it out. It's some of the best barbecue. And just like to thank everybody in the league for letting me run, and of course y'all for doing the broadcast.
Well, Austin, again, congrats. First podium in the A-Square Cup Series. Hopefully the first of many. It was fun watching you race tonight, race elbows out, and it's phenomenal. Obviously, this track puts on some phenomenal racing. Austin, enjoy the podium. We'll see you next week at Las Vegas. Hopefully in the same position or even 2 spots better next week in Nevada. But enjoy it and have a good night, and we'll be seeing you next week.
All right. Thank you all. Y'all do the same.
Thank you. That was Austin Purnell, third place finisher here tonight at Fontana, California. Obviously, you see all of the smog around the track as the sun begins to set for the last time that this series visits the 2 Mile Oval. Obviously, it'll continue over in the ABN Champ Car World Series. It'll continue over in some other series, but not in the A-Square Cup Series. It is set as far as the sun going on this track here as it's currently configured. We got one person to talk to, and it is the race winner. First career victory for Daniel Michel in ARCS competition, and it's in its top series. Daniel, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I got you.
Alrighty. What a wild race. That number 25, 3 minutes of damage, 3 minutes of repairs that need to be done. You got some of it taken care of. We can see that it looked a little bit better on the right side, but it was enough to get the victory here. First of all, how are you feeling? We saw the celebrations here. How are you feeling? 1-2 for the team as well, with your teammate and team boss Seth Wansian behind you. Can I just walk through your feelings?
Well, I'm so happy that I was able to win this race. It's a hometown race, and obviously it's the final race that we're doing here, and it just means a lot. I personally couldn't be at the track today for the race, and I really wanted to win this for that whole thing. And me and Seth finishing 1 and 2 felt just so good, because I knew that we were both fast, and for the most part he was faster than me. I could only roll the top side real fast, so as you saw, I was just doing that the whole time, making sure that I absolutely kept the car at the wall at all times. I even got into it sometimes.
Hey, and it worked out. You got the fast lap of the race there at the end. I think with like 2 laps to go, you get the fastest lap. Phenomenal effort here tonight. Obviously, we talked about it was your home race. You live in LA. This is just a little bit outside of the Metro LA limit. Obviously, one thing we kind of talked about here during the broadcast is how much smog, how much smoke kind of billowed into the track. Obviously, it may not affect the visibility too much for you, but how different was it watching everything kind of come in and watching the visibility change? And how did you kind of have to shift that perspective when accidents started happening in bunches and you had to start shifting to restart pace? We'd seen both you and Seth have really good long-run pace. How easy was it, or did you have to adjust to your runs to be able to take advantage of the shorter runs?
Well, for the most part, on the restarts, after obviously all the smoke and fog came in, it got a little bit more difficult when you're in a pack because the visibility is kind of bad. But since I was out in front, it didn't have that big of a deal. But the biggest thing on the restarts was me and Seth, we really tried to work together on the restarts. Every time, like, I'm like, hey, I'm going around this time. I'm going to try and give an estimate about when I'm going to go, and we will work together to see if we can move forward. And towards the end there, with all those restarts, with the just real quick short runs, I had to make sure I was on my game. The high side, full throttle, not lifting. As you saw on that last restart, Gaiman tried to take the middle, and I just took it away from him, made sure he didn't have access to that middle, because restart before, he almost passed me. And I just kept doing my job to make sure that he couldn't get by, no one had their lane, and just fill every gap possible.
Well, it worked tonight, obviously. Race win, number 1 in the Ace for Cup Series and in ARCS as a whole. Phenomenal effort. At home, it always feels a little bit different. And before we let you go and let you go through and continue celebrating tonight, is there anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to? Daniel, the floor is yours. Congrats on a lights-out victory here tonight at Fontana. You're in the playoffs. So now you're championship hunting.
Yeah, I just want to thank all the teammates in Sunday Money Racing. It's just an honor to be in this series. And while I do have some gripes and, there'll be some heated moments, it's a lot of fun. And being able to race these races is just a good time overall.
Well, Daniel, again, congrats. Race win, number 1 in your ARCS career. And what a way to make it happen here. Surviving there, a late race restart at home at Fontana. Daniel, enjoy it. Obviously, Las Vegas next week. We hope to see you there. But enjoy this race. Enjoy everything it's worth. And we'll be seeing you next weekend.
Yep.
That was Daniel Michel, race winner for the first time in ARCS competition at the premier level. He gets the job done at home. Las Vegas driver winning, or Los Angeles driver winning at Fontana here tonight. Las Vegas next week. That is the next race on this calendar. So next Sunday, 7 p.m., you know where to be, and you know where we'll be, and where to find us. Running through, we'll look at the results order here. This was the Heat 2 results. We'll look at the race results. This is how it all panned out. Daniel Michel locks himself in to the A-Square Cup Series playoffs. His team boss, his team owner Seth Wansing, second place for Sunday Monday Racing. 1-2 for that team for the first time. Austin Purnell for Black Acid Racing. James Kerr, that team owner, won this race last year. His teammate, Austin Purnell, almost did the same thing this year. Josh Gaiman finished third last year, finished fourth tonight. Matthew Leiter finishing in the fifth spot there for Black Acid Racing, who had an overall decent race tonight. Prophecy Motorsports, 3 of their 4 cars in the top 10. David Wright, Tommy Withers, Dustin Painter, all in a row there, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Tom Sears, 9th place for Line Power, their best scoring car. Shows how that race fell apart for that team. Ryan Pinnell, another top 10 for the boss man for Presidential Racing, number 12 in P10, rounding out the top 10 here. Tommy Reynolds spent a lot of time a lap down and then some, came back, recovered to finish 11th, the best car for Bandit Racing. Then it's James Kerr in 12th for Bandit Racing, Donald Ray for Presidential Racing in the 13th spot, Stephen Oberstadt in 14th, Bradley Wright in 15th, then Toby Estes, Brandon Fetterplace, who got turned around 3 times in this race, is finishing 17th ahead of Elrich George. And as you look down the order, Alex Jimkowski, not the race he wanted to have, was up in the top 10 there for a lot of the mid-stint, but found himself down in 19th at the end. Jack Mulkey, 20th. Emma Kruger, not where she wanted to be, 21st. Josh Garrison, 22nd, the last car on the lead lap. Jonathan Holmbrink finishing 1 lap down. Brian Rupert, 3 laps down. Brendan Roberts unable to make the finish with 6 laps left in the race. Kevin Feemster finishing 8 laps down, but taking the finish. Only retirement in this race for sure. Jimmy Breo, who finished only 62 laps in this race. That does it for us here in Fontana. Tomorrow night, ABN competition. We head back home. It's the ABN Bluegrass 200 for the HDL Cup Series season. We can't wait to go back home tomorrow night. Myself, Christina Ryan will be on the call for that race. And then the countdown begins. Tomorrow marks 10 days until the start of the 2023 Asian Inc. Champ Car World Series season. Thursday, March 9th, mark your calendars. A new season of ABN's National Championship competition begins. We hope you're all there for that. But after everyone here on ARCS for Darkside Mustangs, Windy Chevrolet, and Smil Racing Designs, and Midwest Barbecue, on behalf of everyone here on Aero Broadcast Network, on behalf of my co-commentator Kevin Young, I'm Carmen Hardy. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night in our homeland. So long, everybody.